I dig this song. It's The Short Coats. Too late. Actor Adam Brody has a new show debuting tonight. It's called Billie and Billie. We got to give some love to Lorene, Jonathan, and Adam of The Short Coats. What do you think?
Wow. That's awesome. Thanks. That was the last thing I expected, is you to play this.
We like to try to surprise our satellite guests because I know that you do all morning long, 5-minute windows, ask the same questions over and over and over again. I don't want to disappoint the son of Valerie and Mark, who are from Detroit. I just want to do a good interview with you, man.
This is true. This is true.
Tell us.
We're off to a wonderful start.
Tell us about Billie and Billie, sort of a taboo subject matter, step siblings, whoops, hooking up, and then how to navigate going forward.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, you know, exactly. They are step siblings. I mean, you know, biologically, you know, they have the question. There's nothing wrong with it, and yet society would tell you there is. And so it's a, you know, they're not conflicted about their feelings for each other. I mean, a little, but they really like each other. And there's, you know, they have to face the question of do they want to face their friends and families, criticism, judgment, scorn? How much of that are they willing to take? And that, to me, isn't a question just for step siblings, step brother and sisters who are romantically entwined, but for anyone. I mean, who you love speaks a lot about you, and you know, you have to wear that publicly, and you have to be willing to, ideally, hopefully, be proud of who you love. But it's a question that I think we all have faced.
What attracted you to this project? Was it the crew, the co-stars, Neil LaBute, who's obviously, there's a Detroit connection there as well. It was a quality and just the ability to explore some different subject matter that you wouldn't maybe do on network TV like you did on the OC?
Very much, all of the above. You know, I would say first and foremost, Neil LaBute. I've worked with him a handful of times. He's actor bait, you know, he's a wonderful playwright, among other things, and he writes you big, fat, juicy scenes to have fun with, and so I work with him every chance I can get, and this was a wonderful situation where DirecTV said, yeah, we like your pilot script, go make 10, do what you want, you know, we'll see you when you're done. And cast, you know, I think they had a few ideas, but basically said cast who you want too, and so, you know, it's so fun and exciting to see a true artist get to make all the choices that he wants. So, yeah, having that kind of autonomy creatively was a blast.
So Neil LaBute directed Aaron Eckhart in his breakout role in The Company of Men. Did you call Aaron, who you starred with in Thank You for Smoking, and say, how do you work with Neil? I mean, does it get that, sort of brotherhood out there?
No, I didn't, but I did meet Neil a long time ago, around that time actually, for a movie that ended up not happening. You have a lot of those meetings. A lot of these movies don't get made, but no, I will say the surprising thing about Neil, he's a teddy bear. He's like the nicest guy. Working with him every day for 6 weeks on this, he didn't raise his voice to anyone once. I mean, he's so sweet, he's so nice, and that's only really surprising given what misanthropic stuff he writes. You know, he really focuses on our worst instincts and selfish behavior. Mostly, I would say this show is far and away the sweetest thing he's ever done. And these are the most likable characters he's written, I think. Or at least empathetic or sympathetic characters. But yeah, Neil is a surprisingly sweet, warm, light person, which is, if you know his work, I think that tends to be the case, though. I think people that write dark stuff tend to be actually have nice dispositions.
Loved Thank You for Smoking. You worked with Jason Reitman the year after working with Doug Liman on Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You got to be in the company of some big stars. You worked later with Bruce Willis. What is your takeaway as an actor after working with the likes of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt and Bruce Willis, and working with directors like Neil LaBute and Jason Reitman and Doug Liman?
I don't know, it's a wonderful confidence booster, and it's actually not to I hope this doesn't sound too self-aggrandizing, but I mean, there's two things. On one hand, you're going, wow, these people are stars, and I get it, and they're so magnetic, you know, they're so interesting to look at, their deliveries are great, they're incredibly bright. And on the other hand, you're in a scene with them going, hey, I'm another actor, we're sharing the space, and you know, you have a lot, you know, more going on, but at the same time, you know, we're not from such different worlds that we can't sort of share this scene, and they're all gracious that way is the other thing. I mean, actors, I think, more often than not, tend to be gracious and giving with their time and work. I mean, I don't know, maybe that sounds like that's not true, but in my experience it has been. And so yeah, working with all these people, I've just been surprised at how, you know, relatively normal and cool everyone is.
Well, you were in town here for Scream 4. We look forward to your next return. Who knows what Michigan's film incentives may hold. Adam, thank you for the time this morning.
Oh, yeah. My pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Billie and Billie, premiering Tuesday, March 3rd tonight at 8 p.m. on DirecTV.
He's a really nice kid, huh?
He does.
Nice
He's
man.
well spoken.
Yeah.